This is Aaron Porter from Professional Boat Builder Magazine. We're at Mets Trade in Amsterdam, and wanted to catch up, excuse me, with Eliot Horowitz, who's the CEO of New York-based VM robotics company. It sort of jumped into to the marine sector on the manufacturing side this past summer, and ran out some new material at at Ibex. You were started working with Viking Yachts, doing a robotic sort of AI based sanding technology, taking the curse out of the ever accursed sanding task. We saw in that stuff at Ibex, that there was sort of basic robotic fundamentals. I guess you also at Ibex had the wine pouring happening. Yep. You've got a sort of a basic. It seems to me you've got a basic platform that you can use for a lot of, potentially apply to a lot of different mechanical tasks. And I know you just have also added gel coat application, particularly relevant to boat building. Tell me, I guess how things have gone with the what we've learned from the sanding since you started testing with Viking, and then we can talk about the gel coat as well, because that's going to be bound to be interesting to builders.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Block sanding. We started with block sanding on hard tops and small parts and hulls, and that's going really well. We're doing that at Viking, and now we're doing it at some other places as well. So that's starting to...
That didn't take long.
And like a lot of people don't want to be sanding. And, blocks anywhere from one person, like 14-inch blocks, up to 3-person, 70 to 80-inch blocks. Up to some pretty big blocks for sanding on various size parts. And the nice thing is, because we can use different blocks and different size arms, if you have small parts, hatches and things, you get a small arm, and then if you want to do it for big hard tops or really big, or hulls, you just get a big arm and big blocks. And then based on the platform we have, we're also now moving into orbital sanding. So that's a lot of flat wood pieces where you want to just sand wood pretty quickly, and those things to curved wood, and then up through polishing and buffing of really anything.
Basically using the same arm, but with different attachment and sensors on
it. Right. Same sensors actually, just different. Same sensors, just different attachment. Where you take off the block and you put in an orbital sander. Take off the orbital sand. Then for orbital sander, you can put sandpaper on there, or you can just put a buffing pad on there.
Interesting. The gel coat, that seems to get that got rolled out pretty quickly. Have you got companies who are jumping on board already?
Yeah, we've got some people starting to test it.
Good.
Gel coat spraying is a little different, and so we're figuring out how the humans are going to interact with the robot, how they're going to test out, make sure everything's spraying correctly, and keep everything clean. But then have the robot go in there, and especially for parts where, like a helm piece, where you've got to get inside of it, and where you're just getting spray back all the time. The areas where being able to have a robot go in there and do it all is really nice.
I assume with the gel coat, it's a bit like the sanding, where you're relying on some really skilled sort of human practitioners to inform the AI what's acceptable, and
even the motion, right? The speed and the motion and all these things. I've been learning a lot the last couple of months about gel coat spraying and talking to various experts around the world about how to do it, how fast to move, how fast to spray, and all the little things that they've been learning over 30 years that we're trying to turn into the product.
Neat. So you're here in Amsterdam with us, introducing VM to European boat builders. What's the reception been? How you been received here?
Yeah, we've been the booth has been incredibly busy.
Good.
People are incredibly excited about this, right? Again, labor shortages are not a U.S. only problem. No one wants to be block sanding, whether it's in Europe or in the U.S. And if there's a way that they can do it cost effectively with automation, that is a huge thing. And then, obviously everyone knows that block sanding is just the beginning. Your block sanding is a big one, and all the other things we just mentioned are also relevant. The boat business is doing quite well. There's a lot of European companies that are growing pretty quickly. And so there's a huge amount of interest in how you can be more efficient, how you can automate more, and how things can go faster.
Any surprises for you here with things you may not have expected?
Just the number of different boat builders, right? In the U.S., you sort of know the big ones, and here there are so many different brands all making pretty big boats, and just the variety of the number of them has been, there's a lot, but it's still surprising.
Yeah. Have you had any interest from the superyacht sector here at all?
Yeah, no. Look, sanding the side of 50-meter boats takes a long time.
Yeah.
Polishing the side of a boat takes a very long time. Actually, one of the things on the superyacht side that's been interesting is actually on the repair yard side and the shipyard side, where they really want help when they're sort of, cleaning things up, repairing things, where they've got even more challenges in some ways than the manufacturers themselves.
That makes sense. What's your strategy going forward in international sales? I mean, is you looking at that to be a major component? Or
Yeah, especially in marine. Obviously, Europe, there's a ton of boat building. So we've already got 4 people based in Europe, and we'll be growing that out. And, you already have a couple of things going on in Southeast Asia as well. So, yeah, international is huge. In Europe, we think will be a very big business for us.
As AI kind of seems to be pervading all sectors, I'm curious how your marine applications outside of manufacturing are developing. I know you get a little update on the work with Canyon Runner in Kongsberg.
Yeah, so Kongsberg is going really well. So Kongsberg, obviously a big Norwegian company. One of their big products are these Simrad Omni sonars, right? So Simrad SY50, for example, for both commercial and recreational fishing. So with them, we actually rolled out and released and first demoed it to the public at Flibs a few weeks ago, where we're doing AI on the Omni sonar. So, reading an Omni sonar is more art than science. And so now we've built an AI system that reads it for you. And so you tune it, the AI will help you tune the settings on the sonar, and then it will tell you what's a fish and what kind of fish, so you don't have to guess.
Stop. Interesting. You've been, I don't know, I think from my perspective, I see you as pretty insistent on the practicality of AI applications and the need to use the technology with an approach that kind of stresses moderation and real world results. What risk do you see in the rush to AI applications? At the show here now, there are so many new to the industry, AI players or technologies that embrace AI. Do you see any sort of risk in half-baked ideas and inappropriate applications?
Half-baked ideas are never good and always a little scary. If you think that the AI is going to be really smart and then it does something wrong, it could often not be good. And I think with AI, the big risk is people don't know what they don't know. You can have an AI that seems pretty smart most of the time, but if you get into an area where it doesn't know the right answer but guesses, in certain situations, that's not a good thing. And so I think there's a huge rush to get things out into the market, but you need to do it carefully. And one of the things that we do at VM is we use obviously AI, but these are not full AI solutions, right? They are using AI in certain ways, but they are sort of built by people learning from other people, as opposed to AI learning from people directly.
So it ain't magic.
No, there's unfortunately not that much real magic in the world.
Yeah. So any AI-based tech here that surprised you? That you've seen?
I unfortunately have done very little walking around.
Okay.
I'm hoping today to be able to
same here
to do some wandering and exploring. So I honestly I've seen some cool things, but nothing on the AI side. I've been back in the construction area and sort of the big mechanical section for the last couple of days.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
And see what we've learned. Are there, in talking with builders, what are the greatest reservations you're hearing from them about AI applications? What are the concerns, your doubts when they say, maybe not ready yet? That's it.
I think the people who are most worried are just really on the risk side, but they don't know what they don't know. And I think it's easy to try a ChatGPT, try any of these things. It's easy to sort of think it's pretty cool. But then everyone's seen it say something a little off now and then.
Yep.
And depending on what you're doing with it, that could be annoying or dangerous.
In 10 years, do you think AI will it still be kind of a transformative boat building technology, or do you think we're going to be at a point where it's kind of mainstream and mundane and just baked into the technologies that we have doing boat building and probably car building and house building everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that more and more automation, whether you think of it as AI or AI powered, is going to be a 20-year thing, right? This is a long cycle of how long it will take. But yeah, I mean, I think there'll be a lot more automation, a lot more efficiency, a lot more just be able to scale up, scale down, do more variety. Where we'll be able to do a lot of interesting things, more customization, faster iteration on designs. So a lot of cool benefits that we'll get, not just in this manual labor side of it.
Do you see applications of AI on the design side, in the naval architecture
right.
side?
Either both on the performance side and just on the customization side.
Yeah.
Being able to have this is not tomorrow, but it'd be great to be able to take a design and have a customer be able to talk to an AI agent that helps try to design it, works with them, and so when they get an idea at 3 a.m, rather than them texting their designer and waking them up in the middle of the night, talk to an AI agent that's helping guide them through some things, and the actual designer wakes up in the morning and sees what they did and then fixes it.
To troubleshoot that.
Yeah. Right. I think there's some very cool stuff you could do around just playing with more ideas and having the AI mock up 5 different versions of how you do a layout.
Yep.
A lot of cool things you could do.
Great. Eliot, thanks for your time, sir, and have a great rest of the show.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you at IBEX next year, if not before. All right. Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
Later.